With me on the program now, the Shadow Minister for Employment Services, Ed Hughes. So where is Labor at when it comes to Adani and that proposed mine? It's gone through all the regulatory approvals, as Mr Frydenberg pointed out before the break. So what could you do legally to stop it, even if you wanted to?
I think we're just working through all the arguments that are being put forward, particularly by the proponents of the development. We're also listening to the public's view, particularly in relation to things like taxpayer support for establishing, or making this proposal go ahead. And I think we're just going to we'll work through those internal processes and come up with a decision in due course.
Sovereign risk is something you've got to factor in as well, isn't it? In terms of saying, well, as I said, all the approvals have gone through at state and federal level, to now say, oh, sorry, it's off.
I think people...
That'd be a risk.
I think people, shaking that argument about would also need to consider that, Adani is not the only coal mine that's being proposed or being operated, in the country at this point in time. And so any argument that just because you may make a decision that may not necessarily support one development proposition doesn't mean that everything stops full stop. So I think, we can take a deep breath before running towards these sovereign risk arguments. Yeah, but the problem is, though, and the difference, I guess, with other projects is, as the Minister himself pointed out before on this show, that all the hurdles have been jumped, I guess, except the funding one. They haven't got a bank to fund it just yet. Well, doesn't that speak volumes of itself? That people are still trying to be convinced, particularly when it comes to financing decisions, about whether or not they should be putting their money into this project. I think, you can't ignore that of itself. But again, I think let's let it run its course and see where we end up.
The retired Major General Jim Molan, now Senator, does Labor need to be careful about targeting the Senator Molan, given his record of service?
Look, I would say a number of things. One is, certainly there is a lot of respect for the fact that General Molan proudly served his country, but I think reposting these videos did him no favours. Some of the things that he's interested in dealing with extremism, for example, these are never easy arguments to be had, but, a diamond's still the toughest stone going, even when it's polished. There's room to make smart arguments. And I think we do need to tread carefully about, obviously dealing with difficult issues, but doing it in a way that brings everyone together. I'm more intrigued, can I say, Kieran, by the Prime Minister's response. And I'll put two things to you. First, if someone had reposted a misogynist, criticising women, making terrible arguments about women, or homophobes making terrible arguments about, the LGBTQI community, or if anti-Semites had posted something terrible about my friends in the Jewish community, would we have received the same approach from the Prime Minister? I doubt it. Rightly so. And in one fell swoop, Malcolm Turnbull did something I didn't think was possible, which was make Donald Trump look good. Because even Donald Trump apologised when he posted these videos or reposted the content, and Malcolm Turnbull couldn't do it. He says it's out of respect. Well, I think there's a difference between respect and cowering from your colleagues. Well,
Senator Molan says he wasn't aware of what this organisation was in its entirety, and the fact that it's a far-right, anti-Islamic, it's described as neo-Nazi group, but he agreed with the content of this video, not with the organisation. Does that provide a defence for you?
You know what? I think a senator in his first week in office will obviously take the time to learn a lot more things and be, as I said, a lot more judicious about the arguments that are being made. Again, my focus is on someone that's been here for a long time in the Prime Minister, making judgment calls that I think are beneath him, and that he should have taken the proper step of bringing the country together and putting community cohesion above coalition cohesion.
Do you feel that the Prime Minister's response then could aggravate and alienate members of the Islamic community in this country?
I just think it leaves people scratching their heads about the defence that he took. As I said, if anyone else, any other coalition member had posted any other video, in relation to any other group that inflamed tensions in the way that it did, I think he would not even hesitate to come out and say that that was the wrong thing. He didn't in this case, and like I said, people will wonder why he did it in that way.
One last issue relates to your area of responsibility as the Shadow Employment Services Minister. A suggestion this morning that Labor will scrap the work for the dole if you win the next election. Is that right?
I think well, at this point in time, obviously we're reviewing our policies. What we are in favour of is we don't want to see young people sitting on their hands. We want them to be able to get a job and have a fulfilling life with obviously the dignity that comes from work. But we don't want them forced into programs that aren't working and, more importantly, that have serious question marks hanging over them about their safety. Work for the dole is not only is proving to be ineffective under the coalition, but there are serious concerns about how safe people are going through. It's nearly 2 years since a young bloke died on a Work for the Dole project. We've never had the minister come out and say, you know what, these are the steps we have taken to make this program safer. So what we want are programs that work, that get young people into jobs and do so safely.
Shadow Minister for Employment Services, Ed Husick, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Being back with you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. That's all for our chat with Ed and Josh, not together today as they used to be. The
De Niro and Pacino. You know, dare I say, separated. No.
Viewers who would watch this program over the years would have seen the bromance in the early days, sadly no longer. Quick break, back in just a moment.